Good evening, students. So now we will discuss about the third part of human excretory system, and that is regulation of the kidney function. So there is a very important function which is performed by the kidneys, which is called as homeostasis, and which is called as regulation of water and solute content by the body fluid. When we talk about the vertebrate kidneys, they excrete the large quantity of dilute urine when water is abundant in the body, and they excrete small amount of concentrated urine if there is a shortage of water. So here in this term we will talk about how this regulations of kidney function by the hormones. So we know that hormones are the chemical messengers. They act as an important signaling molecules in controlling the regulation of water content in the blood. There is a apparatus which is called as glomerular apparatus, and to certain extent by the heart. So what will happen? Excessive loss of fluid from the body activate the osmoreceptor in the blood vessels of hypothalamus. Thus release ADH, which is called antidiuretic hormone, or vasopressin, from the neurohypophysis. ADH increases the water reabsorption from the DCT and increase in the body fluid, which switches off the osmoreceptor and suppress the ADH. Then increasing the pressure for faster filtration, there is another mechanism which is called renin-angiotensin mechanism by JGA. So how it functions? We can simply say it raises the blood pressure by constricting the blood vessels. Then GFR activate the adrenal cortex to release the aldosterone. We know that aldosterone is a hormone which is released by adrenal gland of the kidney, which is very important hormone. Aldosterone causes the reabsorption of Na plus and water from the distal part of the tubule. This led to the increase in the blood pressure and GFR. Then we have an increase in the blood flow of the atria of the heart can causes the release of atrial natriuretic factor ANF, which can cause vasodilation of blood vessels and thereby decrease the blood pressure. This ANF is actually act as check on the renin-angiotensin mechanism. There are some other organs which also plays very important role in excretion. Lungs, carbon dioxide and water. Liver, decompose the hemoglobin of the worn out red blood cells into, they form the pigment that is called bilirubin and biliverdin. Then skin, sweat gland, sweat, sebaceous gland, sebum and fatty acids. Intestine, excess of small calciums, irons with fecal matter. Then we have salivary glands, they release heavy metals, drugs. Then we have another very important question which is called micturition. So urine is formed by the nephron, is ultimately carried to the urinary bladder, where it is stored till the voluntary signal is given by the central nervous system. Then contraction of the smooth muscles of the bladder and simultaneously relaxation of urethral sphincter causing the release of urine. The process of release of urine is called as micturition, and the mechanism which is causing it is called micturition reflex. On an average 1 to 1.5 liter of urine per day, which is light yellow, slightly acidic, which is having a pH of 6, has characteristics order, an average of 25 to 30 gram of urea is excreted out per day. There are some disorders which are also related with the kidney functions, and when we say about these disorders, there are some presence of glucose is also there in glycosoluria, ketone body, ketonuria. Urine is indicator of diabetes mellitus. Then we talk about disorder of excretory system. Urea in the blood is called as uremia, which is highly harmful, may lead to kidney failure, and such patients require hemodialysis. Kidney transplantation for renal failure is another or last option, we can say. A functioning kidney is used for transplantation from a donor, and we should select the donor which is preferably a close relative. Why we are selecting the close relative? So that the kidney can be matched with that person. because whenever an organ transplantation will take place, immune system start fighting with that external organ. So if they belong to a relative, close relative blood relationship, then the chances of acceptance will be more high. Then we have renal calculi, stone or insoluble mass of crystallized salt oxalate, pathri, formed within the kidney. This is another disease. Glomerulonephritis, inflammation of glomeruli of the kidney. This is another disease which is associated with the excretory system. So this is all about the human excretory system. And I hope you have understood all the important terms related to this human excretory system, structure and function of a nephron. And I have already discussed with you in detail how this urine formation will take place, what are the various steps which are taken place in the formation of urine, then counter current mechanism, hormonal control, micturition, and at last we have discussed about the disorders which are related to the kidneys. So thank you so much for watching this video.